What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Todd vlog. Today we're going to go over a couple of things that's been going on here lately with my Digging Life Rapid Response Vehicle, my prized 1987 Chevy S10. This is a little vehicle that I always take to pick Emma up from school every other weekend. It's about a 2.5 hour drive where Emma lives with her mama, and we like taking this truck because she likes being able to sit in the front seat with me. And I like for her to sit in the front seat with me too. We kind of get to snuggle all the way back to my place out here in Black Mountain where me and Kelly live. And it's just really nice. I go 2 weeks without seeing my kid, and that's hard. You know, for any of you parents that go through that, that's hard. So it's nice to be able to be close to her from the get-go and have a few days with her. Now, despite Kelly being Emma's bonus mama, she protects her fearlessly, just like her own little duckling. The old S10's tires were getting bald, and it's been raining a lot. So I broke down and got a new set of shoes for my little truck. It's the same ones I had on it, Cooper Cobras. I've had a bunch of these on several different vehicles, and I've always liked them. They wear good, and I just like them. Funny note about this little truck, every time I take it to get an oil change, since I don't have time really to change the oil myself, about every time I take it in the shop, somebody that works in that shop that I take it to, and this is different shops, I can almost bank that somebody will want to buy it. And the guy that owned the tire shop, WNC Tire here in Swannanoa actually, he left a note with the secretary up front that wanting to know if I'd sell it. So I met with the guy. I figured I'll let him look it over anyway. Now this is an 87. It's only got like 80,000 miles on it. So he offered me $4,500 for this little truck. And at first it's kind of the mentality, there's no way I'm selling my little truck. I learned to drive a car in this little truck with my grandpa who has passed away. And when he said $4,500, I said, that's a solid offer. But I don't think I can sell it. I think I'm just gonna have to keep it. But if I end up needing to, I know somebody I can take it to who will appreciate it. He definitely made an offer that's way more than the book value of this little truck. That was flattering, and it made me feel good too. A couple of things about this little truck going on right now. It's had a real bad pulley squeak, so don't mind my mess. A bunch of Emma stuff. And of course my vehicles are always a mess. It's embarrassing. Granddad be ashamed. Got a new belt for it, and I'll go over why, just for the people out there in YouTube land, why I got a new belt and how you can tell that your belt is getting wore out. Also, I've been to several different parts stores. Being that this truck is like 30 something years old, it's not surprising that they didn't have parts. So in the meantime, what I've done is I've just got I got my liquid wrench. I sprayed it down because this bearing is solid. It's not got any play to it whatsoever. I wish y'all could see, but I don't want to get gear oil on it. It smells like death. And today is me and Kelly's 4th dating anniversary. So I want to smell good for her, at least somewhat for the day. But anyway, you can see this doesn't have any play in it, but this is the source, I think, of the squeak. So what I've done is I've taken my silicone spray and cleaner, and I've sprayed this. This bearing sticks up a little bit higher than the side, so I sprayed it, and I spun the bearing with my hand to let that work down in there, and hopefully any little grit could come out. And then I took my gear oil, filled it up, and then last night once I filled that, I could just spin this, and I could see that gear oil working its way into the bearings, and it's nice and smooth and quiet now. So hopefully, I'm going to be on the lookout. If you guys know where I can find this pulley, it's an idler pulley. It's got the ridges that hold the belt. If you guys know where I can find one, I may have to go to the junkyard. And I don't anticipate this to be a permanent fix, but at least it'll quieten it down so I can still continue for me and Emma to ride around in that little rig. Plus, it's perfect to haul her new bicycle we got her around. Take her down to the parking lots, let her ride. Have her a big time. It's better than being on that iPad all the time. Let's crack the hood on this thing, let you guys see what a 30+ something year. Actually, my dad had the cable broke, so he had to rig this up. Let me see if I can pop it for you. Press down on the hood. That's something else I plan on doing since I'm not going to sell this rig. This is just such a good little old truck. I love driving it. Right here is where that idler pulley sits at. I'll pull this bolt off. It's a weird thing. They were pulling the part number up for that idler, but both stores brought out an idler that the hole in the center of the idler that this bolt goes through was too big. So we'll just have to figure that out. I'll set you right here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this serpentine belt out. You can usually just pull it right out. I didn't even have to go across the fan belt for that one. That's awesome. Okay, so to look at a fan belt, let's see if I can get this where y'all can see. See how those grooves are opened up? This one's really not in horrible shape. I just figured since I'm changing one pulley out, I had to take the belt off anyway. Then I would just go ahead and put a new one on. So I don't think this is the right size. I think they gave me the wrong one. But anyway, you see this belt, how narrow those little grooves are? That's what you want. Now let's see just if this helps with our squeakage. We shall see. Sound smoother? All of these sound pretty good. I must have just forgotten that I went over that fan. On the old tree truck. Seems like it's a lot of extra belt, but by the time you go around all the pulleys, it is not a lot of extra belt. Just that one, that one, that one. Make sure I've got everything going. Check my diagram here. So it was the wrong belt that I got initially from Advance Audio Parts. I got this one. It was super tight. I ended up having to take this bolt and this bolt loose from the alternator, and that way I was able to get it up and over that a little bit easier than just going across the belt tensioner. We got her going. Let's fire it up and see if we got much of a squeak. This old gal's running like a sewing machine. Actually, it's an old boy, Blue. I tell y'all what, the leaves are coming down around Black Mountain, North Carolina. This little rig for a quick little spin. And then we'll check that belt after we get spun along. Did some work for my neighbor, had to do some grading and work on a driveway for the other neighbor. Hurricane Fred or Tropical Storm Fred washed all his gravel over into the other neighbor, so we had to clean that up and regrade it. While we were at it, we regraded it to where the one neighbor he could use a riding mower on that slope instead of having to use a trimmer. Make life a lot easier on him. Hey, this old truck, it runs like a sewing machine. My granddaddy took care of stuff. That's a fact. I don't know if it's just because it's careful or cheap. I'm not sure. Maybe both. I will say the new tires on this rig really makes a difference in the ride. Me and wife's going out on a date tonight for our 4th anniversary. Got a couple of projects we're gonna do on this thing. I'm not gonna do like some Andrew Camerata step-by-step video, but I'll take you guys along. I've got to put a new cable on for the hood release. I've got a heat shield down on the exhaust pipe. I need to either tighten up or replace. I don't know if a bolt's gone missing or what, but that'd be a fun little project. Who knows, I may even paint this thing one day. That'd be alright. In summertime, it gets hot driving this thing, or sitting still anyway, without air conditioning. But that's one less thing I got to think about tearing up. Me and Adam had a lot of rain this past week. We've got some catching up to do. Gonna be a busy week. We've got to go back to a job that I did before and add on to the additional parking area. I'll try to remember to put a link up at the end of this video so you guys can see the initial parking area and be ready for the next video extending it. It's gonna be a fun project. We still got to work on Adam's driving, mostly his backing practice with a trailer to get his CDL. That's going to be, he's getting close. He's about ready to take that test. I'm sure some people are going to ask, this is just a 4-speed truck. It is not meant for high speed, but it will run 70 miles an hour all the way to get Emma. Never overheat, never give any problems. I don't know, I don't think it's going to hurt it. It runs, you know, it's either happy running 55 miles an hour or 70 miles an hour. You get to run about 60, 65, for some reason the engine just doesn't seem to run as smooth. It'll even out. That's the other thing Emma likes to do when she's riding with me. She'll sit in the middle and she'll shift through the gears for me. She can do it by herself. Just wanted to say thanks also in this video to Mr. Dirt Perfect himself for inviting us to be a part of the Utility Expo in Louisville, Kentucky. We got to meet Dirt Perfect, Let's Dig 18, Dirt Boss, Lead Earthworks LLC. One of my absolute favorites. I was starstruck, man, to get to meet Andy Detweiler. His channel's The Harmless Farmer. All those channels I named and more. Go check out Utility Expo 2021 and you'll be able to see a full list of everybody. Got to meet Ed and briefly Brandon with Full Tilt Grading, and of course up State Brush Control. He's just down the mountain from us. It was an amazing trip. Got to meet a lot of good people. Me and Adam and Kelly all got to go. Got to be in the VIP tent. Not sure what that is. It's spelled VIP. VIP. I don't have a clue. Seemed like some kind of a big deal. I don't know. I do need you guys' help. I know somebody out there has a source for this, but the clear plastic over my instrument cluster, the check engine light was on. My dad put just a piece of tape over it like a lot of us do to kind of hide it. Well, I had that fixed, and then I wanted to take the tape off of take the tape residue, the adhesive off. So without thinking or doing my research, I screwed up. I used a 3M adhesive remover on it, and it just kind of like melted that plastic and ruined it. Here, I'll show you guys. That's what it did. So if anybody has a source for that clear plastic cluster cover, please drop it in the comments, or if you even have suggestions where I might be able to find one. It was kind of heartbreaking when I did that. I thought, how silly of me. Just about every one of those cans will say test in a discrete spot, but there's really not a discrete spot there. And this truck is almost perfect. It's got a little bit of rust spots on the outside, but for something over 30 years old, it's perfect. Even the seat's not in bad shape. So if you guys could help me out with that, that's great. That'd be great. I'd appreciate any suggestions. Let's get back to the house, open the hood back up, check this belt. It ain't making no squeaking at all. So we'll check it out, make sure it's looking all good. Alrighty. Oh yeah, that's seated in good. That's the pulley we just greased up real good. She was running smooth. Let's start it back up real quick. Real nice. Thanks for joining me, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls. Had a great time today working on this little old truck that I love. I will be putting up a link to that video where we did that parking spot addition, so you guys can be ready for the next video on the project we're going to be doing this week. Thanks again. We love you guys. Be sure to like, comment, consider subscribing if you're new to the channel, and we will see you guys on the next one.